Hey guys, today we're taking a look at Sephiria. So, a lot of things to be said about this game. Let's just start off with how I feel about the game. In general, like the game, but I don't know, it feels kind of like the game leaves me with a profound sense of emptiness. I don't know. If I were to put it into words, it would be uh, I like spring rolls, right? So, let's say Sephiria is like a spring roll, right? But it has no mint leaf, So I kind of want a little bit more, but there isn't more. So it's kind of like that, like a little bit more to maybe the mechanics, to the content. I don't know what I would want from this game, anyways. At this point, it's not bad, right? I would like even if there's no mint leaf, I definitely wouldn't mind. In fact, I would still probably enjoy a spring roll without mint leaves, right? But mint leaves bring it next level, and it's kind of becomes complete, I guess. But weird analogies aside, let's go over just Sephiria in general. So, well, basic mechanics. Let's run down through those real quick. You have your basic attack, and then it depends on the weapon, but depending on the weapon you have, they just all function differently, somewhat. And then every single weapon has different upgrades and upgrade paths you can take, which complicates things. It would sound like that a little bit, but certain weapons are just good for certain builds. So by end game, you kind of have your weapon kind of like locked in really fast and really early because you select your weapon really early into the run. So depending on the weapon, you kind of are forced to go certain builds almost. So there's not really a super good generic weapon for like most builds, which kind of sucks because then you kind of feel like you're forced into certain builds, even though like maybe your RNG does not suit what you want to an extent. So that would be if I want to go, let's say lightning sword, and then I just get nothing but ice related artifacts, then my lightning weapon will not see much mileage because all of my artifacts are ice. But yeah, let's go through some of the systems now, I guess. Oh, right. There's also like a dash, which I don't know how dash works exactly when the iframe is. I just kind of press it, and then it either works out or it doesn't. You start out with like 2 dashes, and they recharge like pretty quickly, so you can kind of spam dash. I don't remember the exact timing, but it's like about a second CD per dash or something. If you have 2 dashes and do a quick double dash in succession, right now I only have one, but if you do two, um, you get both of them back in like about a second, like 1.3 seconds or something like that, probably. But yeah, there are a lot of systems in the game. So we have like fruit skewers, which adjust the appearance rate of the combos you'll obtain, which increases your ability to find certain artifacts. And that's pretty good. Like, there's a lot of nice quality of life in this game that you won't fully find in others. But yeah, you can take a starting relic, so you can even bring in a legendary artifact, which does matter because the odds of finding like the exact legendary you need, it's kind of like messed up. The one step that would fix this is if you could find the pot item or whatever more consistently through your run. So it's not like an item per se, it's like a thing that you can find in maps that allow you to like reroll your items if you pay some gold. So if you could find that more consistently, at least like once consistently in a run, that would help for getting the artifact, or not artifact, well, the legendary you want more consistently. But even then, the pot doesn't guaranteed get you what you want to see necessarily. It just gives you a chance to see it. Well, if you already have a legendary and you can reroll it. Otherwise, sometimes I'll have to just take a random legendary I don't necessarily want and hope for the legendary I want to see. All right, few things I guess we'll mention that there's fast travel in town. You can fast travel to certain things. But yeah. If we go here to the training ground, we can go to the comprehensive training grounds, and there's a lot of nice quality of life here. So here I can grab any weapon I want, And then I can also use the anvil. And when I use the anvil, I can then go ahead and test any weapon I want here. So if we go to this one, this actually works differently because the right click functions differently. So normally with the katana, you do a sheath move. Now it changes to a dash, and this has iframes on it. And we can also do, I think it's this one, right? Wait, is it thrown? Was it this one? I think it was this one. The dummy here attacks you occasionally, so you can practice parry timings and block timings on like your weapons, because they actually have different timings and function differently. So if we go to regular katana, as you can see, like my character has a white outline whenever they have like iframes, right? So I just have to time that properly. And this one is on sheath and unsheath, so that's sheath. And I can't time both right now. It's kind of like a little bit precise for this. And there are like indicators for a lot of enemy attacks. And I think that's mostly to help with positioning a little bit. And it telegraphs what your enemy is doing a little bit. And also helps you time your parries, which is pretty cool. Very nice, actually, you know? So every single weapon works slightly differently. Their combos work differently. They're different, a few different qualities. So yeah, the weapon variety, pretty nice. And then some of the weapons just play differently. So for example, there was like the ice weapon, and then if we go to the lightning weapon, well, I can't really do it right now, but if I electrocute this, which I can't, I will get electrocute stacks, and then I'll be able to do like a dash. So that's pretty nice. If we go to change costume, we have a bunch of different like characters that we can pick from, more or less, and these kind of also help determine your build path. But before you even start your run, you for the most part already have a build path set in mind, which is like a good thing and kind of a bad thing in some ways, but you know, give and take, I guess. You can't have it all. Before you even start a run in the later game, you basically already have in general like a build path fully planned out, so you're just playing a certain build and you're just hoping to find the items you need. And there's some RNG aspect that you might not find what you need, but there's that. And then if we are attacking, this is kind of like just a mechanic you have to deal with. But if you attack, your character for the most part should move forward. If I attack and then I hold back, I actually start moving backwards while slashing. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's not like a super big thing, I guess. But huge thing is that, well, one of the huge things is that in the training room, you can test any build you want, and there's just a lot of nice little quality of life in the game here. So if we go to, I don't know, like I want to test the synergy between, what do I want to test actually? Would there be anything at the moment? Probably not. I guess if I take like Frozen Bow and then Ice Wings, I can show this off, I guess. Let's grab Last Stand, 2 of them. So if I have just a Frozen Bow, well, you can check the star count, right? And you can preview what stats you'll get for more or less like leveling up your artifact. But if we just use Frozen Bow like this, it just fires off 7 times, right? And how much damage does this do? I'll make sure to pay attention this time. 252. Okay. So let's walk away. And now we'll activate the Ice Wings. This actually changes how many projectiles you fire with this relic here. So it was 252 before, now it's 768. Meaning if I have the combination of, specifically it'll be Frozen Bow plus Ice Wings. This will more or less 3x the damage on the Frozen Bow. So it goes from like about 250 to 750. So we can test damage, we can test like how things interact. And in this case, you fire 2 additional arrows per arrow with this combination. So you're firing off 3 arrows for every single shot with this, which is something. I don't know what to really say about that. Next thing is you have the journal here, so you don't actually need a wiki or anything, which is nice because you can just check all of the items in the game that you have unlocked at the moment here. So I don't know, let's say here we're using Frost Relic at the moment. I can check every Frost Relic and check like, oh, I don't have this Frost Relic. Maybe I'm looking for this Frost Relic to complete my build then, or something like that, right? You have ideas like that. And you can also, without having an item, you can check how many like stars you might need for like the relic as well. So you can keep these things in mind and kind of check them, I guess. Yeah, just a lot of nice quality of life based stuff, I guess. If we go to tablets, we can check every available like tablet. Go to combo. You can check combos for like combos you might not have. Like, let's say I'm running Glacier, and I want to just look through all of these to see what pairs well with Glacier. I can just do that from here, right? And then weapons, you can check the weapon upgrade paths and what the upgrades do from the journal. So like, let's say I have the blade here, and I want to see if there is a weapon that pairs well with like a fire build or something. I can check here and see that this has some fire related stuff. And let's see, burn stacks increase by 2 and fire damage increases by 4. This one, when consuming dash, gain overheat stacks, and consume when using normal attack. And overheat attack speed is fixed at 300%, and normal attack changes to fire base, fire damage 110%. So that is for some normal attack fire build, probably. We have Eclipse here. So Sheath changes to Eclipse. Instantly consume up to 10 Solar Blade. So you would need Solar Blade to do this at all, right? To gain a buff that enhances your weapon for 10 seconds. When you attack, weapon attack deals additional damage to the target equal to 70% of fire damage. Solar Blade bonuses apply to your normal attacks. So that's actually a lot of damage, isn't it? Where each Solar Blade consumed, weapon damage increases by 10%. So if I consume 5, that's a 50% damage increase, and then a 70% of my fire damage increase. And then if I have bonuses that apply to Solar Blades, like, I don't know, plus 5% solar damage, then this would gain another 10%. I don't know how that actually, like, is multiplied. I think it is multiplied, because of how the game works. But yeah, you can just check all this stuff from here. And then you have your talents, which there isn't like that much to do with your talents. It kind of like varies a little bit. But yeah, by endgame, you can take 2 trees, and then you can put some points to get one of the earlier traits. And in terms of the traits, some of them are really game-changing, some of them are kind of like meh, kind of mid. Kind of depends what you're going, I suppose. But this ties in with the fact that you kind of like pre-build before you even begin the run. You kind of have a certain build you're aiming for, so you would probably take talents that correspond to like whatever build you want to go. So at the moment, I am set up for like Magitech Precision. Knowing that I will go Precision, I already have 20% crit chance from Wrath, and also these bonuses, which are like nice, I guess. The luck here is so I can take certain relics with me to start. And then this is for foundation tablet to more efficiently like give levels to start with, so I can take artifacts earlier on, and I don't have to worry about tablets as much, and I can look for tablets like later. It's fine to get some really good tablets early, but not something I'm really worried about. And then this is just for the additional inventory slots. I guess I could change that for, in theory, something else, but none of these are that good with my current skin, so I guess ingenuity is pretty chill. Yeah, there's just a lot of nice quality of life in the game. And yeah, how the game plays, it's like just pretty solid in general. The game that I have played that's most similar to this is going to be probably Spiral Knights. And just, you know, if you've ever played Spiral Knights, like the gameplay is definitely the best part of Spiral Knights. So yeah, what worth mentioning, I guess, is in the settings, there is colorblind mode for the inventory. I'm not really sure what that looks like. I'm not colorblind, so no idea, but good feature. Auto skip boss scenes. This is helpful. Like, for example, in Dragon Marked for Death, you don't have anything like this. So every single time you have like a cutscene to deal with, you have to, well, you don't have to, but you just buffer the skip button. So you then skip text, which is moderately annoying that you have to do it every time when you, like, every single mission basically has text, so at some point, like several times. So that's just kind of annoying. So yeah, just having an auto skip pretty useful just already with that. Yeah, there's also transparency effects here. So I don't mind the effects too much, but you can make your effects transparent if that is a problem for you. And of course, the game is multiplayer, and the multiplayer is pretty solid. It's balanced like decently well. Multiplayer and single player, like for any game with like both, it's kind of hard to balance. Like Slay the Spire, I think like is very much more difficult to balance here, and it's more important to balance because card game and all that. But yeah. Let us just start a run real quick, I suppose. I think my setup is correct. So, yeah. Let's see. If we go into a run, first floor, because you're in, well, I'm in the last chapter. There are no enemies on the first floor, guaranteed. And I can just take a free artifact or a free level up and just proceed to the next floor. So runs speed up like a little bit because of this. Kind of want Wormstone or Scabbard of Exorcism. I think it's best to really take it'll be this. Then we go Anvil here, and for me there will be no encounters here, and I want specifically it has to be like the lightning sword here for this build. There technically is like, we could technically go Heaven Rend as well, but I don't want to go Heaven Rend. That would put me at 50% crit rate, which is like not bad though. From here, the next choices are not very good, so we should probably play for Future or go Experience here. Future is probably better, unless I lose the run like on the first boss, which is very possible. Took a hit I didn't need to take. Epic. Let's get rid of this guy. He's just chucking dynamite at me nonstop. Okay. It'll take a while to get to the first boss, I guess, so... Yeah, being on the highest difficulty does have its negatives, I suppose. There's a lot of penalties I have to take on right now. Well, whatever, it's good enough. I don't think you can continue runs, right? So if I do this, it just takes me to the main menu, I believe. And we cannot continue runs, right? So that is a functionality that sucks if the game doesn't have it, because I mean, it hasn't come up for me yet. Let's see where I get put. I think I'm just put in town, right? Am I? Oh, no, wait. It does. Okay. I mean, the game never mentioned it, but it seems like you can um just resume runs and just quit out of them whenever you want, which is actually good. Huh. I was just always unsure about that. But anyways, with hard mode, I guess we can just quit out here though. We can just give up the run. That's fine. It kind of sucks because there's a 20% Sapphire bonus on one of the things I'm running right now, but it is what it is. Okay, so next thing is Destiny Inscription, which is how you unlock the mechanics. So the system's like fine in general. A few things that might be confusing if you haven't realized it. To unlock nodes, you just have to check these connectors. So there's a connection point right here, like you see that. Like there's one in between like all of these things, and you can go ahead and figure out like where certain unlocks will take you. But in terms of the best things on this tree, it would be level up restoration. I think that this is the absolute best thing on this tree, just period. Aside from that, like rerolls are also nice. And then, of course, like their features like fruit skewers and wishing fountain, which are just purely beneficial to you whenever you have unlocked them to like more concretely and consistently get the builds you want. So that's pretty nice. And one of the things that I like dislike the most it is specifically this node here. This unlocks like a bunch of grimoires and stuff, and it gives you thunderstorm tracking compass. So the only artifact I actually like in this whole page is basically just thunderstorm tracking compass. Like it's gone to the point where I was considering at some point to just have an account where you have just specifically this node not unlocked and just the rest of the tree unlocked. So the downside, of course, is that I cannot play thunderstorm tracking compass, but I won't get hit by all the clutter with these books. You can ban specific like combos uh using the fruit skewers, but these are all like different types, and I just don't really like grimoires, so I can't really do anything about that. So that they'll just moderately ruin my run whenever I do see them. But I guess it is what it is. Yeah, the grimoires are not like that bad per se. I just don't like using them personally. But yeah, I mean that the functionality for this progression system, it gets the job done. Is kind of how I'm mostly feeling about it. I was kind of confused trying to unlock stuff like for a good bit until I realized like actually I never really realized. I think I unlocked like the whole tree before I realized. Oh wait, there are like connectors that show like what nodes unlock nodes and stuff. Damn. But yeah. Let's head back to town. So you also have, I guess it's worth mentioning, you have like presets. So you have like presets for your fully set up builds because it would take some time to like fully set up stuff. So this build that I have, this is my only like uh preset that I've made recently. Others are like way too old to the point where I would never be using them now and they have to be redone. But you can select like your favorite artifacts, and when these show up, they'll have like a heart on them. Um, and it'll just be easier to see them. So that's cool. And let's see, what else was there? I think yeah, that's probably everything, right? What's lock slot do? So you can only load it, right? You can't edit this. I guess that's fine. Can I move this up or down? I guess I could do that. if I like copy and paste this up here, which I might do later. But yeah, that's about it for um Sephiria. I mean, game's pretty solid. The bosses are like pretty decent difficulty. You do rerun like the game a good amount of the time, but it does remain like moderately fresh because you have like multiple bosses, like different bosses that you'll see throughout your runs. So it doesn't like really stale. So pretty good game overall. I would probably recommend this, yeah. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.